What if everything you've ever been told about disease is incomplete? Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're diving into the ideas from a really fascinating and, let's be honest, pretty controversial book, Heal Yourself the Natural Way by Walter Last. This thing is a dense guide, and it makes a huge claim that you can literally rebuild your health from the ground up naturally. Trust me, some of these concepts are going to challenge what you think you know. So who is this guy, Walter Last? Well, he started as a biochemist and then became a naturopath, and he's got decades of experience. But this book is not your typical, take this herb for that problem kind of guide. Nope. He lays out what he calls a complete healing system that's designed to work from the inside out. And at the heart of it all is this massive framework built around 65 different steps. And we're not just talking about diet and exercise. This thing covers everything from really specific detox methods all the way to mental and spiritual practices. It's basically designed to be a complete roadmap for taking back your health. And this system is deeply holistic. It's not just focused on what's physically wrong with you. Last makes the case that you absolutely cannot separate your physical symptoms from your emotions, your thought patterns, or even your spiritual well-being. It's all one big interconnected system. Okay, so this brings us to the absolute central idea of the book, that disease isn't just some random unlucky attack. It's actually feedback. Last suggests that your body is desperately trying to tell you that something, somewhere in your life is out of whack. I mean, think about it. When we get sick, what's the first thing we usually ask? Why me, right? Which kind of puts us in the role of a victim. But this book suggests we ask a much more powerful question. What is my body trying to tell me? And that simple little shift in perspective, well, that's the whole foundation of his approach. So the whole game becomes learning how to interpret these messages. For example, the book suggests that chronic fatigue isn't just you being tired. It could be a massive signal of emotional burnout and terrible nutrition. Those digestive problems, they might be a direct result of stress you haven't dealt with. And skin issues, they could be pointing to a buildup of toxins that you've got to handle from the inside. Here's a really great way to think about it. It's like your body is constantly sending you emails, with status updates, warning messages, and critical error alerts. But what do most of us do? Instead of actually opening the email and reading the message to figure out the real problem, we just take a pill to silence the notification. We're essentially just hitting delete and hoping the problem just magically fixes itself. And this idea leads directly to another core principle in the book. This philosophy completely shifts the focus away from attacking a disease and towards strengthening your entire body. You can really see the paradigm shift here. The conventional way of thinking asks, how do I fight this illness? But this approach completely flips the script. It asks, how do I make my overall health so robust, so strong, that the illness just can't survive anymore? This quote from the author himself just nails it. You don't heal by fighting disease. You heal by building health. The goal isn't the fight. The goal is to create an internal environment where sickness just has a really hard time setting up shop. See, the book is built on this powerful belief that your body has this amazing natural ability to heal itself. Now, we see super rare but documented cases of this called spontaneous remission. The idea here is that if you can just create the right conditions, you can tap into that incredible healing power that's already inside you. So you're probably asking, okay, how do we actually create those conditions? Great question. Let's get into the practical side of things, starting with the physical body. The book lays out a really clear foundation with what it calls the non-negotiables. First up, clean up your diet. More fresh, whole, organic foods if you can. Second, pay attention to the quality of the water you're drinking. Third, you gotta move your body every single day. And last, you have to actively try to reduce how many environmental toxins you're exposed to. It all sounds simple, I know, but we all know it's not always easy to do. But here's what's really important. This is not about just blindly following some strict diet. The real key here is self-awareness. It's about becoming a detective for your own body, running little experiments, paying close attention, and learning how your unique body responds to different foods and different habits. And of course, in this kind of system, true healing has to be holistic. It doesn't stop at the physical. The book argues that your emotional, mental, and even your spiritual health are all equally important pillars holding everything up. And this is an idea that's really gaining a lot more ground everywhere. Just think about it. holding on to years of stress or anger or fear, that isn't just in your head. It has real measurable effects on your physical body. That's why the book gets into techniques like breath work and visualization to work on that powerful mind-body connection directly. Okay, now, we absolutely have to pause here for a really important word of caution. While a lot of these ideas about diet and stress are pretty mainstream now, this is an explainer of the book's ideas, not an endorsement of every single one. And let's be crystal clear. Some of the specific therapies mentioned in this book, things like iridology or urine therapy, are very controversial and are not backed up by solid mainstream scientific evidence. So it is absolutely crucial that you talk to a qualified health professional before you make any major changes, especially if you're dealing with a serious condition. So the bottom line is this. Think of this book's ideas as something you might add to your toolkit, but never as a replacement for professional medical advice and care. Please be smart and be responsible with your health. So, after all that, what's the big takeaway from this whole framework? It's that your health isn't just about what you do when you're sick. It's about how you live your life every single day. It's about all those little, consistent choices that add up over time. And that leaves us with one final question to think about. If you actually stopped and listened really closely right now, what is one message your body might be trying to tell you today?